Actually, since we're here, let's talk about the worst day I've been on in Charlotte.
Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Done dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me.
Hi friends, it's your girl Sid and welcome to my channel. And obviously based on the title, this is going to be like a 2-year update, pros, cons list of, living in Charlotte. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sydney. I'm a small content creator based in Charlotte, North Carolina. And yeah, before I get into the video, make sure you like this video, comment down below any content you want to see from me, or any questions you might have that I didn't touch up on this video. And make sure you subscribe on the channel so you can stay, hit my tea, period. I'm trying to keep this short and sweet because I feel like I see a lot of pros and cons videos and it'd be like, bro, you're talking for a long ass time and I don't hear it. Before I get into the pros and cons, a little bit of background on me. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm probably one of very few people you're going to meet from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I hear it all the time. All the time. I was born and raised there. I went to college at Purdue University in Indiana. Then after that, I got my first corporate role and I lived in Chicago for a year. Then I moved to Cincinnati and lived there for a year. And then I moved back home. Well, I moved back to Chicago. I was going back and forth between Milwaukee and Chicago for like 6 months, and then moved to Charlotte once I got a fully remote role. I moved to Charlotte completely blind, meaning I never been, never visited. It wasn't really on my radar until an old friend of mine visited a couple times and was like, yeah, I can see you as a Charlotte girly. And I'm like, I'm gonna look into it. So when I got my fully remote role, I at that point lived in 4 states in the Midwest, was tired of the cold, was tired of the winter, just wanted a new environment, a new scene, all the things. And it was between Charlotte, Houston, and Atlanta, and I picked Charlotte. So yeah, so I really, honestly, genuinely cannot believe that I've been here for 2 whole years. And if you know me, you know I move once a year. So yeah, I said I was gonna give Charlotte 3 years before I moved, but I really do love it overall. And I could see myself being here long term. I still do want to check out Dallas. And who knows, maybe your girl might be a Texas girly by the end of 2025. Because that'll be my 3 years, But we gonna see. So now let's get into it. Pros. The first pro is the geography. Charlotte reminds me of my hometown in the sense of nothing's too far. Everything is going to be about 15 to 20 minutes away from you, if it's not within your immediate area. And what I mean by that is when I first moved here, I lived in North Lake, I was right next to a mall. Church was 10 minutes away. I was right in between the 2 major highways. I had a Target around the corner, a Food Line around the corner, a Harris Teeter 5 minutes away. Nothing was far. The furthest I had to travel was to go uptown to really be outside, and when I worked at Tattoos and Blues as a server. Other than that, I really didn't have to leave North Lake at all. And even then, even now, there are clubs in North Lake that I could have went to if I wanted to. So yeah, nothing, you really don't have to leave your residential area in Charlotte for real. Even now, I live in Lower South End, and the furthest I have to travel is to go to church, and that's 30 minutes away. But that's because of the church that I choose to go to. So nothing's far. No matter where you live, you're close to everything you essentially need, whether that's University, North Lake, NODA, Camp North End, Uptown, Slow Soap, Steel Creek. You never really have to leave your designated area unless it's for extracurricular activities, And speaking of extracurricular activities, that brings me to another pro, which is things to do. Charlotte has a lot to offer for so many different people. No matter what you're into, there's going to be something for you. Now, me being a Black young professional, there is something for me in every sense of the word. If I enjoy running, Mad Miles. If I enjoy pickleball, shameless plug, tap in with us with the Black Pickleball Collective. If I enjoy being outside, there's so many different clubs and nightlife that you can get involved in or go to or turn up. If you like fine dining, we have restaurants. If you like art, you have Shout. If you're artsy fartsy, go to NODA or Camp North End. If you like mom and pop shops, we have those. If you like big franchises, we have those. We have something for everyone. If you're a sports fan, we have the Panthers and the Hornets. Now, granted, both teams are trash. Both teams are trash. However, if you enjoy those environments, you can definitely go to a game. We got the Knights. We got a lot. I follow Axios Charlotte, and when I say they tell you about all the new restaurants opening, all the old restaurants that are closing, all the things happening this weekend. We are a big concert tour stop city. I've been to quite a few concerts here since I've been here, and yeah, there's something to do for everyone. The next pro on the list, the diversity. There are a lot of different people here. I would say Charlotte is definitely a transplant city, meaning when you meet somebody, the first question they're gonna ask you 9 times out of 10 is, where are you from? Because there's so many people that aren't from Charlotte that live in Charlotte, or like so many people that are like very fresh to the city, newish to the city. Like, even me saying like I've been here 2 years, a lot of my peers have been here 2-3 years if they're not from here, you know. What's that? Huh? You know I'm not drinking. You know I'm not drinking. You know I'm not drinking.
Maybe it's not a water with me, man. Maybe it's not a water. Come on. Amp up.
You're lit. You're very much lit.
Hey, I'm gonna holler at you when I get back, alright?
Okay, y'all be safe.
Love you lot.
Love y'all. Bye. Okay. Excuse me. My friends are in Houston right now, like all of them. So they're drunk.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. Damn, what was I saying? But yeah, there's so many different people here, different age groups. It's just so many different people that you get to meet and interact with and potentially network with. Okay, now let's get into a couple cons. The first con, cost of living. Charlotte is expensive. Okay, it is not a cheap city. Now, granted, coming from Chicago, I understand. So when I was in Chicago, I paid $1,200 for a half of an older apartment. There were no amenities. It was outdated. We had a white refrigerator.
Oh, not a white refrigerator.
But I was like downtown, so good location. But I was paying $1,200. My roommate was paying $1,600. So total, it was $2,800 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. But once again, no amenities, no pool, no workout facility, barely a concierge. Like, it just wasn't it. In Charlotte, I was paying $1,500 for a 1-bed, 1-bath in North Lakes. But even that, like, they were upping the rent to $1,700. And I'm like, if I'm paying $1,700 for North Lake, it's just not, the math isn't mathing. So seeing how this third year in Charlotte goes by the end of 2020, by the end of this year, I would really love to buy a house, but as someone who got laid off in June 2023, we don't know how realistic that is right now. We got to get back into the corporate setting, save my money. Right now, I'm taking a break from bottle girling. That's another story for another day. But once I get back in that, once I get my shit together as far as the corporate life, then I could possibly go back to the bottle girl life. And then I'm going to have double income, which means I'm going to be able to save my money to buy a house. You feel me? You feel me? But yeah. So yeah, it's getting expensive to live in Charlotte for sure. So that's probably the first con. Another con, construction. They are building up the city so freaking much. So everywhere you turn, there's going to be some construction, whether it's the highway, the roads. They're building new buildings. They're building new apartment complexes. There's always some form of construction, and it gets annoying. Well, a lot of locals don't really like the construction because they feel like they're ruining like the natural beauty of Charlotte. Another con, I personally am just not a brewery girl, but there's a lot of breweries here. Too freaking many. Like, one thing about Charlotte, they're gonna build a brewery. There's going to be a brewery on every single street, every single corner, every single block. Like, you're going to see a brewery. So if that is your vibe, Charlotte's for you. It's not my vibe, so I would consider it a con. I'm more of a lounge girl, more of a, if I am gonna go out, I would prefer a club over a brewery. But some of the breweries are fun. Definitely will say like, that can get annoying. Okay, so now let's get into like the miscellaneous things, you know, like I don't know if they're pros, cons, but these are just my experiences. The first one, y'all are pressed to know about my love life. Why? I don't know, because it's not that interesting. It's actually not interesting at all. It's actually boring as hell. But to answer the question, if I've been dating, I would say no, not right now. Men here, because it is a transplant city, you're going to be dealing with a lot of different type of men, and they're all very different. One man I was texting from New York basically said if I have male friends, it's never going to work out. And that kind of threw me. Actually, since we're here, let's talk about the worst day I've been on in Charlotte. Okay. And I don't give a flying if that man sees this video. You know. So boom. Met this man on Hinge. We talked for maybe like a week and a half. And I already kind of peeped the red flags. Like at one point, he wasn't Greek. If you know me, you know I'm an AKA. And he found that out and basically tried to say like I wasn't a real AKA because I went to a PWI. Why are you hanging outside the club? You can't even get the fuck in. 1. 2, why are you speaking on my experience? And like 3, like he was trying to get a rise out of me because I was telling him like, bro, like this ain't, you can't really partake in this conversation because you know nothing. So that was kind of annoying. Then he hit me with the, when we gonna go on a date? When you ask me, like, let's be something for real. Our date was scheduled for Friday. Wednesday, he hit me up and was like, can you bring one of your friends? Because my homegirl wants to slide too. I'm like, cool. So Friday comes. The date was scheduled for 7 o'clock. And I was telling him like, oh, I'm gonna be 15 minutes late. Like I'm communicating that with him. I'm gonna be there at 7:15. He like, bet I'm on my way. This man does not show up until 7:45. Not only does he show up 30 minutes later than when I showed up, so you were technically 45 minutes late, but I was 15 minutes late, so we can say he was 30 minutes late. You showed up by yourself. Didn't acknowledge the fact that he was late. Didn't acknowledge the fact that he was by himself. He just sat down like nothing, like it was nothing. So it's me and my homegirl, we looking at each other, and he, we talking, and at one point my homegirl was like, "Where's your friend?" He was like, "Oh yeah, he been bullshitting all day, so I don't think he gonna make it." And I literally was like, well, why didn't you tell me that? Because I wouldn't have wasted her time being here if your friend was not going to be here. And he was like, I just didn't think about it. So now you're inconsiderate. Got it. So now it's me and my homegirl and him. So I already don't like this dynamic either because now I look like I'm on a date with 2 women. This is not that. So yeah. As I already mentioned, I'm from Wisconsin. We all know this. That does not need to be the thing that defines me, okay? And at the time, it was around the time the Jeffrey Dahmer film came out. So when I say every time we had opposing opinions about something, he would be like, that's that Milwaukee shit, or that's that Dahmer shit. Are you comparing my ideals to a serial killer?
Relax. I just want to take some pictures.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to add. He didn't pay for the whole date. He only went, so when he got there, by that time, because we waited for 30 minutes, we had ordered appetizers and drinks. Both of us got 1 drink and 1 appetizer. So when he got there, he ordered a round of shots and we ordered a hookah. By the time he got there, we had the hookah, we had 2 drinks, and we had 2 appetizers. Because at one point, I thought that man wasn't coming. So when the checks come around, he only paid for the round of shots and the hookah. He didn't pay for my food. And you asked me here. He calls me the next day, I don't respond. Then he calls me the next day, I don't answer. And then he like texts me like, so you're just not gonna talk to me? So I called him back and I basically told him like what I think went wrong. He was just like, okay, and kept pushing. And then at the time I worked Tattoos and Booze, so I saw him like a couple weeks later. He was drunk as hell and basically tried to read me like, you fake as fuck, like you fake asked me on a date. You had me bring my homegirl. You didn't pay for shit in the date, and she's literally here on your behalf because you asked for her to be here. You didn't even pay for my stuff. Like, and on top of that, only thing you want to talk about was the fact that I was from Wisconsin. Like, I wouldn't want to talk to nobody after that. And that's where we got. But my sister also just texted me literally this the other day talking about my husband's not a COT. So, I don't know. We gonna see. Let's check back in another year, 6 months. Another miscellaneous thing. Gentrification, that is a thing. Gentrification is big in Charlotte right now. They're pushing everybody out. They are building up the hood. There are some nice new builds on Sugar Creek, Freedom, and the place that you should really stay away from. They're building nice ass houses there, and nice townhomes. So yeah, gentrification is happening all over the country, but yeah, it's really big in Charlotte right now. So And then the last thing I want to speak on is nightlife. So once again, this could be a pro, this could be a con. So one thing I will say about Charlotte, we cycle through clubs. Like I was watching my 6-month update and I realized that half the clubs I mentioned in the 6-month update are no longer here. There'll be a club, it'll get shut down for some reason, then some either new owners will buy it or the same owners will buy it. They'll remodel it, change the name, and then it will be a club again. And then they just go through the cycle. Like I think the only standing club that is still here since from when I moved here would have to be Tattoos and Booze. Yeah, Tattoos and Booze. Every other club that I think I mentioned is not here, and the white clubs. Lost and Found's gonna be here. Slingshot's gonna be here. Imperial's new, Encore's new, XOXO's new. So like all these clubs are new. So yeah, I don't know if that's like a good thing or bad thing, but there's always gonna be some form of nightlife in Charlotte, whether that's like rooftops, whether that's bars, lounges, clubs. Like you're going to find something of that degree. Last shameless plug, if you want to see like a typical weekend as a 26-year-old living in Charlotte, check out my channel. I make weekend vlogs all the time because as much as I hate to admit it, I be outside. But like outside with like a little asterisk, you know, because yes, I'll be at the clubs, but I also be at the social events, but I also be at the networking events, but I also be at church on a weekly basis. I go to church events. I'll be everywhere. I dibble and dabble in a lot of different things. So yeah, if you're interested, check out my channel, watch a vlog, see what I get myself into. Cause yeah, it's definitely a vibe. It's a vibe all the time, as Krishan would say. All in all, I would definitely say I love Charlotte. I love this city. I don't foresee myself leaving anytime soon. And I've seen a lot of comments on previous videos on mine of people talking about like, I want to move to Charlotte. Like I'm thinking about it. It's on my list. Baby, do it. I don't know that many people who have moved to Charlotte and like regretted it. There are a couple, but I don't know that many. I meet a lot of people that move here, experience it, and love it because it just has a lot to offer. So would definitely recommend it. And if you have any questions, let me know down below. I'll be sure to answer it. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up right here. As always, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can stay hip on all the tea and all the content because yeah, 2024 we got a lot coming in. Okay? Okay, as always, peace, love, and happiness. Bye.